Hey folks, what's up? Alan Strickland Williams here. This is Finding My Audience with Alan Strickland Williams. This is the third episode. Wow, it's crazy. Um, Kind of want to just jump right in, but we're gonna take it slow. That's the whole vibe. Take it slow. Check in. It is Sunday, May 26th. A little bit halfway through a 3-day weekend. Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. It's 10:28 a.m. It is 60 degrees outside here in Los Angeles, and from the looks of it, cloudy. I woke up maybe an hour and a half ago, all ready to go on my walk. And for me, sorry, Mike. For me, it's just, is it really worth it to go outside if you're not gonna sweat and get hot? Now, granted, maybe I could work myself up into a sweat on my own, but sounds like a lot of work. Not really into that, especially on a 3-day weekend. But well, we'll get to it. But I put out some late night messages on Friday, posted to the gram, I got a Google Voice number thanks to some Lisa Schnew. I don't know if she said that on the voicemail, but she definitely did in over text. She said, "Oh, by the way, you can do this," and I'd had one set up before, totally forgot about it. But set up a voicemail, and I think we got like 10 calls or something. So, I probably should have taken it down. But hey, who knows? Maybe someone will call during the show. Wouldn't that be crazy? That's what we're working towards. I do like the idea of it being a delayed call-in show, but it would be nice to get to the point where it's like streaming and live. And anyway, just kind of running ahead of myself there. How are you doing though? How was your week? What are you doing for Memorial Day? I hope you're having fun. I hope you're catching up on stuff. I hope you're calling all those people you meant to call. They're usually my family, if I'm being honest. But it's good. I did get to talk to some people this weekend. What did I do? Last night I decided the Comedy Store. It was really fun. Had a good time. Got to see some old pals. Every time I do go to the store, I feel a little bit like I've been off to war for a long time or something, because people are always like, "It's really good to see you." I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, message received. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But yeah, it's been it's always, for me, it's always just, for me, the whole thing is just, how do I make all this stuff work, especially with the fact that it's not working in the salt mines by any means, but have a full-time job, and then I'm old. I'm just an old man. Got a haircut. Don't love the haircut. I know I look like I'm here to sell you junior Bibles or something, but no, I am an old man. There's some gray. I forget which side. There's some gray on one of those sides. But yeah, I had a great set of the store. Really, really enjoyed seeing some old friends. Everyone was great. It was in the Belly Room, 8 p.m. Saturday night. And I think I found a good parking situation over there. That's the big thing for me, is in a perfect world, I'm going to work, and then at the end of the day, I'm going just to hang out, just to meet people, see people, whatever, soak up the vibe. But it's always like this week, earlier in the week, maybe Monday, I literally drove around, and I wasn't like frantically looking. It was the end of the work day. I wasn't like, going to kill myself, but I was driving around just being like, oh, I just don't fucking know where to park. I just wanted to go hang out at the other potluck or whatever. But we're working on that. Things are moving in the right direction. There's some stuff I wanted to talk about last week that I didn't, because I was tired. I did the podcast too late. So first off, in the good news department, I fucking John Krasinski over here. I say that too much. My sister, who's very funny. Allison Coleman. If you're in the, my thing about this is I don't know how much to reveal about my like family or my life or whatever, but she's doing comedy. She started doing comedy a couple of years ago. She's super funny. She runs a show called Badass Babes in Athens. But I don't want to tell you too much more than that. I don't even know if I want to tell you that. But I think it's early in the podcast. I think only good people are listening at this point. But anyway, her family, they lost their cat. They lost their cat Clover, and like 5, 6 weeks later, they found the cat. So they have the cat again. I just think that's cool. Like, I don't know. Haven't you ever felt like something was totally lost and gotten, maybe even dead or whatever, and for it to come back? That's pretty cool. I think that's cool. I also got really, really excited because I know some people just went and saw Fish at the Sphere, the big ball in Las Vegas where it's like, to me, I'm like, air fryer the Sphere. This is the height of humanity. This is probably as good as it's ever going to get. I think we need to kind of lock in and dial in and figure out how to make it work long term, knowing that this is the best we can do. But I like the Grateful. I don't really have a connection to the Grateful Dead. I love that. What's that song? Is that song called Beautiful? What's that beautiful song called? Is it called Beautiful? I think it's called like Ripple. It's like it's whatever's in Freaks and Geeks. Lindsay Weir, Linda Cardellini, dancing at the end. That beautiful song. But I don't know much from that. But I saw a lot of people posting Grateful Dead of the Sphere, and it looked fucking amazing. Like a thing with like the San Francisco, what are they called? The painted ladies, the old houses. And they like split, and then you're going up. And I was watching, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my. One day, I feel like it's going to be announced like very soon. Tame Impala's got to do the Sphere, right? I don't know if I saw them right before the world shut down. It was like literally the last thing I think you could do in LA, the last big thing you could do in LA County. They didn't cancel the shows of the Forum, and so I went, and it was like, looking back now, I'm like, oh man, they're like perfect for it. Obviously, the music's the music. I love Tame Impala, but the background images they were doing, there was like this whole thing where the sun was setting and the moon was rising, and then it was flipping really, really fast. I'm like, oh, these guys would be perfect. So I just got like excited about that. Also, I want to talk about Hefner. I think maybe because I unboxed that one album. The band Hefner. This guy Matt Henderson, who is in a band. I don't know if they're operating right now. I actually meant to bring them up too because Steve Albini, who passed a couple of weeks ago, he mixed their last record, or engineered, I believe is the term Albini uses, right? Their last record called Baby WrestleMania. But this band called Manhattan Murder Mystery. The reason why I want to talk about it was just because Matt was like, oh my God, I didn't know anyone else liked Hefner. And we were kind of catching up a bit. But when I was on tour to prep for the album, I went through Arizona, and I went to Bisbee, and something about being in Bisbee, Arizona, I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but it's like, what did they describe it as? They describe it as like, we're kind of like the older arty people go, like for fun in Arizona. And then there's also definitely like a young military component of, I think that might just be Arizona in general, but it was super, super fun. And I was being really good on the tour. I was like really trying to rein it in, not drink too much. I was like, okay, I'll have maybe I'll have like a couple of drinks every one day, once per like leg of the tour, or whatever you want to say, or location, whatever I'm saying. And that night, I somehow just I got wasted. The show was super fun. It was like. Also, that was like I met Doug Stanhope. It was the guy that owned the bar was like just really, really awesome. It's like he's doing magic and just like playing pool, and you can tell that he's letting you. He's controlling everything to make it so that you feel good for like he was this guy was crazy. And for some reason, I just like it activated something where I remember this song. And there's this band called Manhattan Murder Mystery that I used to do shows with. I think actually it was like Hannah Michaels ran the shows downtown at, I think it was called the Redwood Bar on 2nd. And for whatever reason, we were on bills a lot. This was back in time when like you could actually have comedy and music on the same venue, and people would like pay attention and stuff. And then I think we were on the Tomorrow Show together. Anyway, I just remembered him. I remembered his band. I looked them up. I bought some records, and they were waiting for me when I got back. And he included just a really, really nice letter. And it was just, you know, Manhattan Murder Mystery. What are some of the good songs to listen to? Dumb is great. Luxury Liner. What's the one? Let me look it up, actually. But basically, I just wanted to bring it up because I don't know. It was like really interesting to connect with someone else and just sort of talk. Like he was just saying, like, "Oh, tell me where he was at in his life, where he wound up," and I was kind of, "Kill rock stars." "Too Tough to Survive" is the one I was trying to think of. "Too Tough to Survive" is a song that's the song that I remembered when I was in Bisbee, Arizona, and that's a song that I used to listen to all the time. Singing about stuff that I think a lot of performers can relate to, people that live in a city, people that struck it out on their own, people that have had to work odd jobs, people that have been fucking broke as shit, and depressed, etc., in love, everything. Really, really great lyricist, great soul to the voice. But anyway, Manhattan Murder Mystery. Find the album I really, really like is Dumb. Baby WrestleMania is fucking awesome too. I think those are the only two that I could find on vinyl. So that's I don't know, that I've been on this vinyl kick or whatever. But anyway, just wanted to shout him out. But yeah, okay, let's go back to the lineup. What else? Oh, we hit 100 downloads. 100 downloads, guys. And the celebrations will get bigger and more comparable to the milestones. I know that 100 downloads isn't like crazy, but I'm trying to celebrate small victories in my life, and I'm trying to encourage others to do the same. So we're excited. Thank you guys for listening. It really does mean a lot. I don't know. Things have been very tough recently. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the more I feel like I just have to like move through it, like, and everything. Like I talk to myself all the time. So the reason why I thought might as well start a podcast. I'm getting gold here. But I was just like thinking to myself and kind of talking. I was like, Alan, you have no idea what's going on, but that's okay. You know, that's fine. So let's just ride with that. I do want to say a quick shout out. Do you shout out someone who died? Richard Bang. Got my Richard Bang candle here. It was today's Sunday. Yesterday, May 25th, was the anniversary of Richard. I don't know, trigger warning, whatever Richard called himself. So I was taking some time yesterday to just, think about Richard, and I did feel like yesterday was kind of like interesting because I feel like I kind of mourned. There's the guy. Is it focus? Can you see it? That's the guy. Can we get him in? Is he in the shot? Is Richard in the shot? Is he too fat? Haha. Problematic guy. Super fucking funny guy. Sweetest guy when he wasn't having a psychotic break and trying to punch you in the face. But really love him, really miss him. He was like a brother to me. He literally saved my life in this crazy story. If you don't know about it, I'll talk about it, I'm sure, at some point. And I talk about it on the album too. But literally saved my life. I miss him. I miss him. This weekend he did it on Memorial Day, which is very funny. It's very funny that every Memorial Day or around Memorial Day weekend, I'm like, I'm thinking of my fallen brother, dude. Fucking Richard. But anyway, just to say, Richard, I love you wherever you are. I don't believe in that stuff anyway, but if I did, it would be nice. Love you, miss you, we all do. Keep it up down there. I'm trying to think if I want to really tell. There's so many. The first time I saw Richard, and I met him before, but I never, I don't think I'd really ever seen him do comedy. And I was up in Bridgetown. Bridgetown used to be this like, kind of like the biggest maybe not, it wasn't like JFL big deal, but it was like, it was kind of like, it was like Bridgetown was like a pretty much fully like independently run. This guy Andy Wood and some other folks really made it happen every year. And I think it like never made money or whatever. Like festivals are like, it's a lot of work. Like you gotta basically be like a super corporation, I think, to pull it off. God, it's crazy that JFL isn't whatever. Well, that's a whole other episode. But Bridgetown, there's some show. I don't even know if it was part of Bridgetown, but there were a lot of big names from the festival on it. It was at this place called, I want to say it was Ground Control. It was one of those like bar arcades. And a lot of big names go up, and they're just not. And it's not like, oh, they're sucking or like whatever, but it's just like it's a fucking arcade. Ding, 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 ding. And so no one's really paying attention, and no one's really breaking through. And then I see this little weirdo, like literally, and I kind of clocked him before the show, and he was kind of like looking around. And what he does is his set is just like he climbs to the top, highest point that he can physically get to. And then he just does this thing where like he just like said something awful and then like hitched his hips and his pants fell down, and then he just went like, whoa, like a cartoon, and like, purposefully fell off the thing to the point where people are like, oh my God, like, is he okay? And then he's like, he's fine, whatever. And like that got it, like that broke it open. And I went up to him afterwards, and I was just like, and I really wasn't fucking with him, but I was like, how did you write that? Like, how did you write that? And he was like, fuck you. And I was like, no. And I mean, really, like, and he goes, well, I used to do this thing when I was a kid. And I was like, okay, how do you do it perfectly? And he showed me like how he like sets his belt so that it does this thing. And I was just like, never in a million years would I think to even think about doing comedy like that. And that was kind of where we hung out a lot. And, we're like just drunk, and like there's like a projection on the dance floor. We just keep pretending we're jumping out of the projector, and I was like, what are these guys doing? I was in the back seat of a Bridgetown had these great volunteers too that would just drive you around, these fucking drunk comics. Those were the passengers, not the drivers. I was with Chris Charpentier, Sharpie, love Sharpie, in the back with Richard. We were going to one of the after parties, and Richard goes, hey, wait. He like made the driver stop, and he goes, I think I peed at that tree last year. Can I go pee at it? And then we were all like, what? Like, what the fuck? And we like, me and Chris like watching Richard just like take a piss on this tree. And I was like, I think this guy might be an animal. So anyway, Richard, miss you a lot. Love you, buddy. And then let's see. So did R.I.P. Richard. Let's see. Let's just jump into some jokes, and then we will get to these. I did see some movies. We'll get to that too. But then I just really want to jump to these voicemails. So jokes. First off, I do want to say Zach Reinert, ZachReinert, just released a special on. It's on YouTube. It's from, what's it called, 800 Pound Gorilla. Zach Reinert's out of Colorado, Denver, and the special is called Trains. Zach has long been probably the best joke writer that I've ever seen. I've been saying that for a long time. Other people recognize it. He gets to open for a lot of cool people. I know he's written tons of jokes that you've heard. Like he's super, super funny. Special's great, and it's really just like, it's cool too because it's at the Fort in Fort Collins. And it's just such a, like, there's no pretension to it. Just some good jokes. And if you like one-liners already, it's like you're gonna be in fucking heaven. And even if you don't, like, he gets you into it. Like there's a thing that happens with it. So check that out, please. It's joke writers. We gotta stay together. That's all I'll say about that. All right, let's get to my jokes. Did you hear about Target? Target is lowering prices on 5,000 products. I say let's throw on a red shirt and some chinos, grab a Sharpie, and lower them even more. Huh? What do you say? Let's get out there. I've had a lot of bad jobs in my life. I was actually a third responder. Yeah. You get there, everything's kind of already done because the first responders and if not them, the second responders. And then I went to public school in Florida. So doing sex ed was a little weird. It was a guy named Ed who would have sex with you. All right, those are the jokes. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Okay, let's talk about this. I didn't get to go, dude. I don't think I'm gonna get to see Not Another Church movie in theaters. Sorry, so like the way I have this set up is I have a camera in a ring light. The ring light is faced the opposite direction, and it's faced at my big TV. So in the dark reflection of my big TV, I just saw myself saying to myself, "Dude, I don't think I'm gonna get." Oh lordy. Yeah, they're only showing it. They were only showing it like 2:30 at the AMC 8. So I don't think I'm going to get to go see it. I'm pretty bummed. I'm not going to lie. But my promise to y'all, is I'm going to find if it's possible to see it on, what am I saying? On, like, direct or whatever. I think it might be on an app. I could buy it. I might pay $20 to watch that movie just to report about it to y'all. But what I did do was so like I said, I had been going to the movies more often this year, or whenever the Barbieheimer thing happened, because there was like Barbie, there was Oppenheimer, there was like, I'm an Indiana Jones head. I wanted to see the new Indiana Jones, and there were like two others that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get the AMC thing. I'm just going to go for 2 weeks and see every movie I want to see and then cancel it. And instead, I fell in love with the cinema. Instead, the allure of the popcorn brought me in, the sodas, the camaraderie of taking off your shoes and exposing your dirty feet to each other in a place of artistic worship. No, I really did. I just started liking going to the movies, and I'm like, okay, let's just see what's playing in the theater. Like, I like my jams, the Burbank 6. Drop your favorite AMC in the comments. Pop off in the comments. But I don't. Yeah. So anyway, I started going, and I started seeing. So then I'm seeing more previews than I've ever seen, and one that stuck out recently was for this thing called Maxine, and it's just like this girl that's like, I think she literally just like, I'm a star or whatever, and like it's just like, it looks like some, I didn't know what it was, but I was like, okay, this looks cool, whatever. And so then so I missed this whole thing about whatever X and Pearl. I'm also not super, like, I just would say very, very recently started to be into watching movies that would be described as like a slasher or horror or whatever. And I'm so glad I did, because so anyway, I just kind of started, I'm like, what's this Maxine movie about? And then probably James Fritz explained to me, it's like, oh no, it's like there's X, there's Pearl, blah blah. And so he let me know that X was on like Vudu, or he had a copy of X, and then Pearl was on Prime. So Friday night, I watched X after work and fucking loved it. And then I watched Pearl last night. These movies are incredible. It's crazy. I mean, I don't want to give too much away. I mean, at this point, it's pretty late. But once I realized what was going on, like once I was like, oh my God, wait, hold on. And like I kind of like recognized immediately. I know it could be kind of hard, but I was like, okay, there's like interesting casting going on here. I guess we could say that to not give it away. But I mean, like, I think X starts like literally she does a line of blow, and then she says like, I'm a fucking sex symbol. And she's like looking in the mirror, and I'm like, unfortunately, I know that feeling. I'm like, and then like and then Pearl's like, she just like, she's special. She doesn't want to live on the farm anymore. I'm just like, oh, there's something it's so funny, because it's a straight up slasher movie. Like, it's crazy, but there's so much, I felt, depth and emotional core to the characters that I do not see in a lot of other stuff. The cast was amazing, like all around. We got to get together and do a GoFundMe for Mia Gotha. We got to get that girl some eyebrows. Oh, I guess you shouldn't. That was just a joke. I mean, obviously, being goth is beautiful, but it was. There were moments where I was like, "Is that's scary?" But anyway, I loved it. I loved Pro. I loved X. I was very happy to see that the cow did not suffer. Well, that's not true. That's in the first one, but in Pearl, she was nice to the cow. If she had hurt the cow, don't know what I would have done. All right, let's get into these voicemails. Thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling me. It really means a lot. I really was like at first I was like, why am I getting all these calls from these numbers? I don't know, but I am very thankful. I kind of want to just like, whoa, why is my computer? What are you doing? Hello. I kind of just want to go through and just play them and react. Let me make sure I didn't have anything else. Oh, that's why. Oh, by the way, I literally just spilled on my laptop. Remember when I tried to fix my E key by just super gluing it? Yeah, that didn't work. I had to get it replaced. So I have a new keyboard. That'd be so funny if I just immediately break it again. But I was using my old laptop. Oh my god, it was so slow. It was kind of nice because it was just like it kind of forced you to slow down on everything, but it was obviously very annoying. Okay, so let's get back into it. Voicemails. Thank you. Let's just go through one by one. Let's start here. And let's see. So I'm trying to think I don't really know like legally what I'm allowed to include or not. So I'm going to just assume that if you say your name in it, then that's okay to use your name. If you don't say it, I'm going to not. I guess I should say for future, the number is 323-457-0032. Again, that's 323-457-0032. That's the ASW hotline. Call in. Eventually, these are going to get more granular and like prompt driven. But for now, I want to know what you did this weekend, craziest thing that ever happened to you, dumbest thing you saw this week, something you saw this week that made you mad. Any questions you got? Do you do any weird characters? Do you do I mean like weird stuff you do like with your friends? Like what's the weird inside joke you have with your friends? What's the weird like quote that you say all the time, or like the character you do based on someone you saw for like 7 seconds one time in an airport, and you built a whole mythology around that person? Do you understand what I'm getting at here? Thank you. Or with just literally whatever. You surprised me. I would love that. But I think we got like 10 calls here, varying lengths. I just want to run through all of them, and I think that this should work okay with the setup like this. But again, we're figuring out. Oh, if it does sound better today, I don't think I did exactly what he suggested, but Justin Lentz sent me some info about the voice stuff. I think I tried to kind of find what seemed to be the equivalent of it, of some filter in GarageBand. Again, I'm learning all this shit. Anyway, boring. Let's get into it. Voicemail number 1. This is from Friday, 12:42 p.m.
Oh boy, Alan Strickland Williams, a sweet, sweet prince. Love that you're doing something like this, and I want to say I'm happy that I can call ya. I miss you. I hope you're well. This is Mike Carosa, by the way.
Mike Carosa, super, super funny comic, super great guy, Canadian dude. What was his album called? Success? I just want to make sure I'm shouting people out correctly. What was it called? Linktree. Damn it, dude. Listen to my album. Cherubic. That's what it was. Cherubic. Great name for a title. Like in the picture, he's holding a little. Cherubic. Great. Okay. Mike. And then just a little context. I met Mike, like talking about these festivals. I met Mike. Was that Moon Tower? It's back when I used to do festivals. Super great guy, super good hang. Anyway, let's get back into it.
No, that's fine. Anyway, just calling to say what's up, and also, you're looking for advice and people leave messages and such, and I will do that. right now, that's what I'm up to. So, I guess my piece of advice is don't forget the word for a convertible car and accidentally call it a bald car in front of your friend. But it's just a recipe for being ridiculed. You know, they'll point at you and laugh, which will hurt more than being called a name, if you believe it or not. The pointing like Nelson from The Simpsons is just way more hurtful. Anyway, so don't forget the word, because summer's coming up. A lot more of those bald cars going around. I did it again. All right. Okay, Alan. I hope you're doing all right. Love you. Can't wait to see you again.
Bye. Mike, love you too, man. That was awesome. Thank you for calling in. That's actually I'm glad that was the first one too, because that's literally what I'm talking about. Bald car. What has happened to you like that? Like, I was thinking that tweet that was like, the one that's about like me talking to my friend I accidentally called the Grinch the Grink to one time, and so she's like, hey, I'm stuck on this deserted island, blah, blah, whatever. And then the friend is just like, is the Grink there? Or something like that. Bald car is exactly like that. Thank you, Mike. Check out Mike's album. Check out Mike's shit. Follow him and everything. Let's see. Let's move on up. Friday. This is from Friday, 10:33 p.m. All right. We like that. Let's see.
Hey, Alan. I was over at Priscilla's coffee shop the other day, and so I was walking up, and I saw, like, the mailman, like, stumble and look down at something. And then I noticed that there were these 4 teen boys, sitting at an outdoor table together. And they're kind of giving me a little bit of a look, whatever. They all had that real stupid, like, curly on the top of their head kind of haircut. With,
know exactly what you're talking about.
With, like, they look like soot-covered Q-tips or something like that. with those real stupid haircuts that all those fucking whatever TikTok prankster guys have. And I noticed that they had a little short fishing rod. One of the guys was futzing with a dollar bill. And I realized that these
fuck this, dude. All right, sorry, but this is like that fucking, what was that, a State Farm commercial? All right.
Doing the fucking, making the dollar bill fucking vanish as you go to bend over to pick it up trick. And I knew that I was an old man when I was like, I want to tell these idiots how stupid they are. And I just wanted to either dress them down or make them feel stupid. I didn't actually watch them pull a prank, but they were definitely in, like, prank mode, all, like, kind of like close talking with each other and resetting.
Hold on, that's just super funny though. They were officer, it looks like the gentlemen were in prank mode. They're talking closely to one another, exchanging different types of whoopee cushions. We got a problem over here.
Trick, and I was just like, it just made me so furious. When did I become a goddamn old man? Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you for calling. I have no idea who that person is, which I love. Appreciate that. If you're told, like, please call in. This is not a we have to know each other, need to know basis. But great call. Yeah, I mean, first off, good on you. Good on you for doing it all, because you did everything. And this is what I will say. I noticed a timbre to your voice. I would say that we're probably the same age, and oh wait, I know who this is. But anyway, what I would say is we're not so old man that we're actually gonna, harsh their good time or whatever. We're old enough to know what's going on, recognize it, and move on. Sounds like through leaving this voicemail, you let it go. I fully endorse that. Let's keep that up, but keep that eye vigilant, man, because you're not wrong. I hate prank culture. I don't really like to do stuff like that. I hate it. I don't really hate it that much when it's done to me, unless if it is really bad. I didn't edit because I burped and I didn't want to include it in the podcast. Sorry about that. We're talking about being old. We're talking about prank stuff. Yeah, I hate the prank stuff. But what I will say is that prank that these kids are doing, that is an old prank. That is a prank that was made by someone that now is, if not just an old man, dead. So what I would say is, and this is what I always try to remember about this stuff, because I get hit with this stuff a lot. I do not have children or like a spouse or whatever, so I'm going through the world kind of like just through my own eyes, so I don't notice the aging so much, but there are plenty of times when I do, and it's never comfortable. But the solace is that the ultimate prank is on these children, because one day they will be old like us too, and they will be looking at some group of kids with even dumber haircuts, being like, these guys, they're trying to just get viral, you know? So go around. All right, moving on.
Hi, Alan. My name is Barbara Dorothy Gray.
Barbara Dorothy Gray.
Great.
Babs is great. Babs Gray. If you don't know Babs, come on, give me a break. Babs Gray. She's the best. Super funny comic. She freed Britney. She's my friend.
Just calling to say I'm a big fan. And I just went and saw the new Mad Max movie in like the 4DX thing, the rumble seats, and I gotta say, wasn't really good, not really worth it. So I just want to give a tip out there to everybody that it's not worth it to see it.
Wow.
In the rumble seats.
Okay.
They're not really that fun, and they kind of make you sick and spray water on you. So anyway, I'm pretty sure your listeners were wondering about that. And, you know, I hope you have a great day and a great weekend and a great time.
And you're a great Babs. I love Babs. I've known Babs fucking forever. Okay, I've heard this about the 40X, y'all. Like, one of my buds, that a guy I went to high school with randomly is friends with a neighbor, so every once in a while I'll get to just randomly see him. And we were catching up, and he said that he went to see Dune 2 and 40X, and he said that he actually had to leave because it was like, he said it was like comical, like to the point where like beers were just spilling on everybody, and like this, like he got a headache and had to leave. I'm like, yeah, I did not know about this. I think I heard about this for the first time. It's probably associated with like that new Godzilla Kong movie. But yeah, well, I'm glad. Hey, Babs, I'm glad you survived. I'm glad you lived to tell the tale because we needed to hear it. But yeah, I guess my thing would be like, is there a movie that it suits particularly well? If it's not Furiosa, I don't know what it would be. I'm gonna try to see that later today. We'll see about that. But Babs, thank you for calling in. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you for the heads up. Let's see.
Hey Al, this is Luis, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to let you know that I just rewatched Sister Act with a friend.
Oh.
And it's still really, really great. Highly recommend. I'll take my answer off the air.
If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna get somewhere, you better stand up and pay attention. Luis, thank you for listening. Thank you for the call. I'm going to a baseball game with this man. He's a good man. Yeah, I remember loving Sister Act as a kid. And I remember specifically me and my sister used to sing that all the time, back and forth to each other. Or maybe that was my friend Carl. I always get them confused. All right, anyway, let's move on. Let's see who we got here.
Hi, Alan. This is Taylor Gonda. I'm calling...
Taylor's the best. Taylor's in Minneapolis now, over there with Andy Sell. Taylor was a podcast producer. Did she DJ? She was like all up in the comedy stuff. She's really cool. Andy's super funny. All right, let's get into it.
Because I just woke up from a dream where your friend and mine, comedian James Fritz,
was
in a car with...
I have not listened to any of these, by the way. Just so you know, I really even tried not to read any part of the transcript. I wanted to go through this. So anyway, I'm reacting.
Me and a bunch of people, and he drove that car full of people into a river. And
James moved.
I told him, James, this is a river. And he said, Taylor, it's fine. Alan, it was not fine. The waters came rushing. Things got dangerous. People were screaming. But luckily, it was a dream, so the car floated out of the river. However, I just want to say that just because you are one of the best comedians of your generation does not mean you can drive carfuls of people into rivers. And it was just a lesson I learned this weekend. So I hope you're well. Have a good weekend. And goodbye.
Taylor, first off, just good to hear from you. Thank you for calling in. Taylor, thank you for this call too, because of course, I want to hear your weird dreams. Okay? And both big picture, you want to be a star like Pearl, or one time I had a dream where I was floating down the Nile in a Cheerio. I used to have constant dreams where I was being chased by alligators all the time. Share those dreams with me too. Yeah, I mean, Fritz is a smooth operator. He can talk your way into some things. And maybe for Fritz, driving into the river is fine. It's not fine for everybody. Kind of 2 car stories about 2 people. Taylor, one time I saw her and I didn't know this, but Denver was kind of ahead on all this stuff. They had these cars that you could just rent through your phone and drive and then park somewhere else. I'd never seen that after a show one time. And then Fritz, the first time I ever got in a car with Fritz, I think I was with maybe Megan and Eric back. God, was it that? There's some point where we were on a road type trip with James, and as James turned to drive, and James gets in, and James gets real close to the seat, and then he just drives so fast and turns the music up so loud and just chain smoke the whole time. And I was like, I love this guy. I love this. But anyway, thank you so much, Taylor. Yeah, I'll talk to James about that. But I do love that we're all hanging out subconsciously. I love that. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Have you heard Eamon Dune's Death Jokes, the new album?
Okay, and just so there's no name on this one, so we'll keep that, but I know who this person is. I love this person. Let's see. Eamon Dune's Death Jokes. I haven't heard of this guy. Oh, Eamon Dune's AMEN Death Jokes album. Okay, so he's a musician. I will listen. I'm excited to listen. All right.
And if so, what do you think about it? And 2, for Memorial Day, I'm going to a memorial. And it's at the Monty, which I've been calling El Monty. I just realized that. And, a musician died. And so I guess they're going to just rage in honor of him. And for some reason, I'll be there.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to laugh at that news. I just, the trailing, I appreciated that. I like a nice ambient noise. I like a nice what the fuck's going on. Don't know that album. I'll listen to it and report back. Give me a reason to catch up with you as well. And I was just at the Monty with James Fritz. Excuse me. About a week. Was it literally a week ago? And had a great time. I will say I'm sorry for either your loss or the loss of someone close to you. I hope it was okay last night. That was from Saturday, so I hope that it went well. And I hope if you wanted to rage a little bit, I hope you raged. It is kind of interesting. I mean, just talking about Richard, when someone although I guess wakes are a thing, it's fine. I don't know. To me, it does kind of make sense that when someone dies, you just want to get, because of usually bars, like you're going out, it's supposed to be fun, but like I don't know, especially if the person was like that, I feel like they would want you to be sort of not that they would want you to be grappling with their absence, but to do it in their style, to do it in the style that maybe you met them, how you met them, the settings you met them in. I don't know. Makes sense to me. I hope it went well. I hope that it was good for everyone that was there down at the Monty. Monty's a cool bar. Monty is kind of funny. I used to live down there. Monty's down. It's next to the Terragram Ballroom, which is a great venue. It's like it's MacArthur Park technically, I think, or Westlake, but it's basically like in between Koreatown and downtown, and it's right close to the little, like, you go over the bridge into the downtown. And for years, we were trying to get a show started there, and they're like, "No, we don't need to do that." And I was like, "What is going on? There's nothing here." And I talked to one of the bartenders, and they're like, "Oh, this is like long time. It's like over 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever." And they're like, "Oh, the owner's just waiting this out until that they can open the venue next door, and then it will all make sense." And sure enough, yes, it does. Now that there's a rock venue, that just spills over, et cetera, et cetera. But the cool thing about those places, Terragram and Monty, if you look up, it's like a kind of curved top to it. I believe the story, at least I heard, was it used to be where they would like literally store the old like red cars, the old like sort of electric, not trolley but kind of like that, like cars that used to dominate LA. Anyway, fun fact, I guess. All right, let's see.
Hey, it's your boy, big time money hustler, James Fritz. First time caller, long time listener. I just want to say, having a great time listening to the show.
This is not James Fritz.
Suggestion for the show. You know I'm a big, like, Raytheon guy. I'm big into, like, corporate media. And I just want to shout them out and say, like, maybe you could talk about how corporate media does a really good job of informing the public. And, I'm a big DeSantis 2024, still for Ron, but, like, I'm going to vote for Trump because he's the only guy left, Like, I wish Ron was still in it, but Trump's all we got left. So, I like Biden too. I'm kind of a moderate that way. But, I wish we could just talk about this because I know that, like, if we can get the message out more to the people, and that's what this show's about, that would be great. So, anyways, this is too long. I'm sorry. I talk a lot. But anyways, great show. Keep it up.
Shout out Brendan Cooney. Shout out Raccoon Tweety's podcast. Shout out 10 Minutes of Shop. Shout out what am I doing here? Shout out 8 Inches. You gotta do something a little bit. The voice isn't there, man. I mean, I get it. I like the jokes. I like it. But there's something in Fritzy's voice that's different. Shout out James Fritz. Shout out Brendan Cooney. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Alan, Strickland Williams. I don't want my name on the internet, so you can call me Tate O'Brien.
Okay, Tate O'Brien.
I was hoping for some advice, actually. The other day, I got scammed again down at the mall. And I was hoping if you had some, like, advice or recommendations on how to, like, recognize scams and avoid particularly in, like, a mall setting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the call. I love the specificity of in a mall setting, and I think you came to the right guy. I've spent a lot of time in malls growing up in Northeast Florida. The mall was our agora. It was our meeting place. It was our salon, if you will, where we would exchange ideas and Dippin' Dots. I really kind of want to know more about what you mean. If you just mean you're getting played like by someone you met, or if it's like is this like some a kiosk running a possibly fraudulent situation? Are they selling you, data minutes back to yourself you don't need or something like that? If you feel like calling back in with a little more info, that'd be dope. But if not, also, I guess my thing is, look, when it comes to all this stuff, you basically just have to clearly this advice is not going to be good advice for the entirety of the show. Let me just claim that. But my thing, honestly, what I would say is straight up, next time you're walking into the mall or any other situation, just bring in this real fuck you attitude. Like, fool me once. This is an old joke. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, go fuck yourself. God, I haven't told that joke in forever. And I'm sure 700 other people have told that joke. But there's some truth to that joke. Just don't give them the in to possibly be scammed. Obviously, this means now we're talking about living a life of total isolation, lone wolfing it, as I like to call it. But you won't get scammed. That's sort of the answer that I can give with what I have information wise, Tate. But if you do want to call back and explain a little bit more about the scam or whatever, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Hope that helped at all.
Hello, Alan Strickland Williams. This is Chris Strickland, your friend.
Chris Strickland, comedian friend from Iowa, super funny guy. Follow him online. Did a lot of cool videos, a lot of funny stuff. He does a lot of stuff. He's a teacher too, so a lot of his humor is connected to that. Does a lot of stuff, funny stuff with the kids, et cetera, et cetera. All right, sorry, let's go on.
From Iowa, first-time caller, long-time listener. So here's what I wanted to throw your way, see if you can do anything with it. Me and my wife, we are looking for something new to get into that we have no knowledge, experience, or background in. Okay. So it can't be comedy because I've been doing comedy for a while. It can't be like sports because I love sports stuff. And it can't be like, I don't know, Vampire Diaries or whatever you can do.
Right.
It has to be like something new. What's a new thing that me and my wife can get into that we have no background in? Like, I suggested yoga. I've never done yoga before. She, I think, has a couple times. I don't think she liked it, so that doesn't count.
Okay.
It has to be something.
Okay.
Like, should we garden? Like, last night I watched the movie Dune, and I'm not done with it, but should we just get really into the movie, like Dune, like that catalog?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, should we just go to Dune conventions?
Mm-hmm.
What's something that me and my wife, just to strengthen our marriage, what is something that me and my wife should get into?
Well, if we're talking purely strengthening the marriage, I think CrossFit. I think you and your wife. I think we're talking long ropes. I think we're talking tires. I think we're talking climbing up drywall with hammers. I think we're talking about stuff like that. But let's see what else we can do.
That you think might be good for us, like an untapped resource that maybe we're not aware of. Like, should we raise bees and make honey? Because I don't have any knowledge about that stuff, and neither does she, and that's something that we can learn together. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you know what I'm trying to get at. But
yeah.
What is something that me and my wife can get into? Love ya. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're inspiring, and hopefully I'll get to see you soon. All right. Love you, buddy. Bye.
Love you, Chris. Thank you, man. Chris, when I was setting up my whole tour to prep for the album, Chris really came through in a big way. Chris hosted the show and did the show that I did at in Davenport. I love Iowa, dude. Just straight up, I love Iowa. So thank you for sharing a little slice of your Iowa with me. But yeah, to get to your question, let's see. I mean, look, the joke answers are all like, yeah, get super into Dune. Joke answers are like, convert to Mormonism or something like that. Like, those are the joke answers. Here's what I think. I like the bee thing. I do like the bee thing. I like the bee thing because I have always been, I took a lot of entomology classes when I was in college, but I like the bee thing. I think that also you should look into, if you really do want to go down that road, look into silkworms. I feel like that's an untapped thing that I feel like we should be hearing more about that. I feel like more comedians should have like a crazy silkworm hustle. The other thing that I was going to say that I actually think could be chill, if you don't already like hiking, I don't really know what the hiking situation is there. Hiking for me, hiking is like my favorite thing to do in the world. And when I find someone else that I can hike with, it's truly like, I love it. And if you can really like get into it where it's like you're packing the thing and you're going, just surround yourself in splendor, get away from fucking people, and like bring a fucking sandwich and just sort of like walk around and look at stuff. That never gets old for me. And then there's also kind of a more like maybe you don't want to hit the trail all the time like that. I actually think birding is like a pretty cool thing to get into. I think that if you guys like, get like I think they're called field guides. I'm sure literally everything's on an app that you probably can like just like have and point at a bird and it will tell you everything. I think that could be kind of cool because you could in theory kind of do that almost anywhere you're outside, right? And you could do that also. That's something that you can layer on top of a family vacation, an out of town trip, you're going over here, like whatever, like that can just layer on top of anything. And, if you eventually do want to really get into it, then you're buying the telescopic lens, then you're getting the stand for it, then you're getting the casing and all that. But when you just start, I imagine you have your iPhone, you both have your phones, whatever. And, yeah, I think there's that. And then, of course, there's always drugs. You guys could just completely throw your entire lives away to drugs, of course. All right. I think, is this the last one we got? Let's do it.
Hey, Alan. Man, it's Saturday evening, but this happened on Thursday.
Okay.
During my break at work, and I'm still thinking about it, and I thought,
I know who this is. I don't know if they say their name yet, so I'll keep it tight. But anyway, go on.
Who would want to hear about this? My friend Alan. I'm walking on my break from work. I'm walking on Sunset. I'm walking towards the taco truck because I didn't have any time to get anything else. I didn't have any money for
By the way, we've all been there.
anything else. I'm walking towards the taco truck, going down Sunset towards Alvarado. I have the right of way. I am a pedestrian.
I love where this is going. Ties back to something I meant to say at another call.
The little white man is on the light. I am walking towards the taco truck. I'm taking my time. It's my break. And then all of a sudden, I see a car barreling towards me, not even noticing that I'm in the pedestrian crosswalk. We come face to face. I stop. They keep going. It is the cops. It's two cops. They don't have sirens on. They're not on a chase. They're just...
Okay, twist.
Two dumb fucking cops who are breaking the law. Did you know that I got pulled over in Hollywood circa 2014 for doing the same thing?
My favorite did you know ever?
I didn't stop at the light to let the pedestrian go the whole way, and a cop got a real attitude with me. That felt good. Anyway, did I do anything? Here's the answer to that. The window was down. I shook my finger.
Okay.
Oh, and I went, oh, and I wagged my finger. And then as they drove away, I yelled, motherfucker! And then I got 2 tacos. Okay, love you, love the podcast. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Oh, yeah, the cop also, after I shook my finger and said, oh, no, you don't, Kevin, somebody just reminded me that the cops gave me the rock-on symbol. They gave me the rock-on sign. Infuriating. A-cab. Fine.
Okay, thank you. I will keep your name close, but that's one of my favorite people. I got a lot of calls from some of my favorite people. This is awesome. Real quick, you bringing up the pedestrian cops, that stuff. The other caller about how, like, when do they become an old man? My old man thing is fucking 4-way stops, dude. And I've started to just like drop it into sets, and there's no jokes. I'm just like, sure, I'm like, this is how a 4-way stop works, okay? Like, this is how... Actually, you know what? This is how it works, okay? Four-way stop. People come, whoever comes first goes. Okay, people come at the same time. You defer to the right. If you came at the same time, you go right, right, right. If the person is across from you, then what happens is the person who's turning left waits. There it is. You'll see, you ever meet me at a four-way stop? Here's what I'm doing. You go. I do that. That's me. Anyway, yeah, this stuff is always infuriating, and it's always like that. It's always you get the ticket, but then it's always like that. That's just the way it is, and we're gonna deal with that, and we're gonna deal with that with a smile. I love you. Thank you for calling in. Ooh, I mean, what really can you say? It's just like I mean, how many times do you actually get to wave your finger? It feels good. It does feel good to do it. Feels good to wave a finger. Feels good to look down a nose. Sorry, that's just the way my body built. Okay? All right. Thank you. Those are the voicemails. And guys, we've been cooking, y'all. This is like, we've done an hour. I want to get out of here. I've got some stuff to do. I'm trying to, well, thank you. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for listening. I do appreciate it. Again, the number. Let's just drop that one more time before I go. 323-457-0032. Call in. Let me know what's up. I am trying to get some stuff done. I'm going to go to the opera today at 2, and I think I'm going to take some psychedelics. Turandot, Puccini's classic, is playing down at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. I'm going to try to document that a little bit, and I'll report back next week. I'll try to find out another church movie. Thank you so much for listening. This is Alan Strickland Williams. I'll see you in the funny papers.